let's do what it takes to get inflation down to 2%, whatever that may be. It could take a couple years to do so. These are the words of Jerome Powell. What do you guys think about all this? They're trying to say that the labor market is strong, things are looking up, but we just can't get a hold of inflation still. But nobody's talking about cutting rate hikes. They're talking about maybe, going back up, but if they go too fast, the economy could take a major dip and we can head into a recession. From what I'm seeing, looking around in the housing market lately and looking at things, the housing market is really taking a beating right now. Nobody's buying, nobody's selling, they can't refi. It is really dramatic in the housing market, which is a huge part of our economy. Not only all the other things that we're seeing from day to day, which are not even in the inflation numbers, food and energy, things like that, but cost of homes and trying to sell your home and taking out a new loan on your home is just unobtainable right now. And this is strongly affecting gold and silver because people just do not trust what is going on, especially with the Fed, because they have been wrong so many times the last couple years. All right. Thank you everybody for coming by. It is a Savage Stacker. Good morning and thank you for checking out my channel. Go down there and hit that bell icon and give a big old thumbs up if you could, and a nice subscribe. That would really help out the channel. I truly appreciate it. All right, I love buying gold and silver a lot, and since I started stacking, I have just been engrossed in buying gold and silver, and it's nice to see gold go up at this rate because it kind of justifies my purchases over the last few years, but it becomes unobtainable. And if you don't think that is true, ask your family to buy you an ounce of gold for Christmas and see what they say once you tell them how much the price is. They will basically laugh and go, oh my God, I can't believe that you spend that much money on gold. A lot of people don't understand that it is money and it is a safe haven asset. It will help you in the long run and it will help during inflation. Hence, it being a good, a good thing to have during high inflation times. So, all right now, let's talk about a couple things that I am seeing going on right now. And that is high cost of gold. We all see this happening right now, and nobody seems to be talking about it except for on YouTube and Instagram and, the stackers and a few of the financial channels. But you don't see it out there in the day-to-day world. In the news, you don't see it like, all-time gold prices skyrocketing. You might see it on some financial channels on the news, but you're not going to see it in the headlines, which this is a big deal. And in the past, it has been in the headlines, like gold is going out of control and things like that. You just don't see that at the moment because they don't want people putting their money into this. They want us spending money on, well, I like to say senseless things because it keeps the money wheel rolling, right? Keeps the economy flowing. But when the economy is doing really bad, the best thing you want to do is protect yourself, to protect the economy. We're still going to be purchasing food and fuel and clothing and things like that. It's the holidays, so we're going to be spending a lot of money on that. And I also heard that we've had a record year for holiday season, maybe on Amazon or online shopping, but I'm not seeing it at your brick and mortar stores. There was no lines anywhere on Black Friday, and I was able to walk right on in, and there was plenty of stores. They didn't even get rid of their doorbusters. They still had doorbusters like 8 hours later. And that just tells me that nobody was shopping at the brick and mortar stores. So I have read a couple articles that said that we've had a record year with Black Friday deals and holiday shopping, but I just don't see it. I didn't see it locally, that's for sure. I didn't see it at any of the stores. So it had to have been online sales, or they're just making up more numbers like they normally do, or give us false information. As far as I can tell locally here, maybe not in your neck of the woods, but in my neck of the woods, people are hurting. They are hurting bad. They are looking for the deal, and or they just don't have the money. I've been going to my local coin shop lately quite often and seeing lines of people ready for it to open to sell precious metals and just try to get any kind of money they can. People selling their extra cars and just trying to come up with funds to get through the holiday season. That is what I'm seeing locally. Now, some of you people live in a lot cheaper areas than I do, and it's very expensive around here. So my economy, our economy in this area might be a little different than, say, Tennessee or, Kentucky or, wherever. Here, it's pretty expensive, and people have been just kind of holding it together the last few years, and now it seems to have taken its toll, and a lot of people are struggling pretty bad. I'm seeing it every day. I hear about it every day. I listen to people's conversations and talk to people at the grocery store, and things are expensive. Things are rough. People are starting to really feel it. And I've had some conversations with people in the line at the grocery store that were like, yeah, I've seen inflation, things expensive the last few years, but it seems now it's really starting to hit home. And I have noticed it as well. And usually this time of year, everything's slowed down. I'm not at work or at work as much. And I usually feel it every year, but we get through it kind of quick. Well, I'm watching the money that I've saved up just fly out the door, and it came a lot faster, me worrying about certain things. And it usually doesn't happen as fast. Usually it's like March, I'm sitting here stressed out going, okay, I'm ready to get back to work. But it's December, just started with layoffs, and now I've been out on disability for a month, so I didn't really get laid off this year yet. Guys are still working, but my knee's all messed up, so I'm, went on disability. And but already December, I'm a little stressed out about money and funds and just in case I have to sell, what should I sell as far as my precious metals. So these are things that are happening locally, and like the people in the grocery store, they're just like, we've been making ends meet the last few years, but now I'm having to sell things off or take up a second job or just do things like that to just get by. And I don't know if that's happening everywhere, but it's definitely happening around here with quite a few people. It seems to be a buzz pretty much everywhere. People are talking a lot about the economy. Normally they're talking about cars or sports or baseball or whatever it is they're talking about. But lately, a lot of these people are talking about what they're going to be able to do for the holidays or get through the winter, So it's definitely on people's minds, and people they're having a hard time. So, all right, gold and silver prices. I love seeing gold take off. It's one of those things that it kind of excites me a little bit when I see gold start to take off. But I tend to forget that when gold's taking off the way it is right now, that means things are starting to get bad. People they're not trusting what's going on. They're not trusting what Jerome Powell's saying or the Fed. They're not trusting our government. They're not trusting the markets, the investments. They're jumping into safe haven assets, and that means things are getting worse. So, and I tend to forget these things when I see gold and silver take off. I like to, just use it as a gauge of justification on my purchases. But then you start reading all these articles and finding out that, man, people are really, really worried. And especially homeowners. There's people trying to leave their area and get out of California, period. And they can't, because if they sell their home here and they go somewhere else, they're going to be paying like 10% on a home loan. And yeah, they're a lot cheaper other places, but with that amount of interest rate, they're not getting a deal. They're spending a lot of money on their monthly mortgage, and so they're not selling. And then they can't take a home loan out because maybe they're paying 3.5% on their home, and you take a home loan out and you're paying 10% on that home loan and to refi, and it's just, you can't get that extra money when you need it right now. So people are having a hard time with that. And, the market is reacting to all that. It is the housing market's becoming in a bad way, and it's starting to affect a lot of people. So right now, gold and silver taking off. And what would be the better buy if you're still in the market to stack gold and silver? Obviously, that would be silver. Silver just seems to be half of its all-time high. So if you're stacking right now, I would probably stick with silver at the moment. And I know some of you gold bugs out there that only buy gold. Some of you, you dollar cost averaging, you're still buying gold, but smaller amounts. Or you're just holding on and stacking cash and waiting for a later date. So I think that if you are stacking and you like all metals, I would probably be stacking silver. And that's what I would be doing right now. I actually am stacking a little bit of silver right now, not as much as I normally do. Gold, I'm just gonna be holding off on gold at the moment. I'm not gonna be touching it really at all. Just be happy with what I got, and we'll see what happens. I think that we are ready for a pullback, and we'll see what happens this week. So it may correct itself, it might balance itself out, but I don't think we're going to be seeing a huge pullback. Could it go back to 2000? Very, very easily, just as quick as it went up. Could it go back to like 1950? Yes, very easily, it could. We've seen $200 swings on it in a few weeks in the past, and it could do that again, but I don't see it happening. And the reason for that is they don't plan on doing any kind of interest rate hikes or pivoting or any of that. They won't even make that decision until March. So we got a few months here of speculation of what's going to happen with the economy. A few months of just not knowing what could happen. So that's a few months that gold could just continue to go up. And once it goes up and people start realizing that it's going up, they start getting into more fear and getting out of the dollar and start jumping into gold themselves. And it could just take off. But you never know. Let's see what happens. I think it might be ready for a correction this week. We'll see what happens. Silver, we've seen big moves in silver as well, a couple dollars over the last 2 months or 2 weeks. But we've seen it at 25 plenty of times in the last couple years. And, I think it should be a lot higher than it is. I think silver's true number right now, like even higher than what I'm going to say, but I think its true number should be around $30 an ounce. But really, I think it should be a lot higher than that. But I think right now it should be at $30 an ounce. And I think it's highly manipulated. And the reason for it is they need it for just about everything, from solar powers to electric cars, to cell phones, to everything. And if it went too high, the cost on these products would be so much more that it would even affect us even in a big way. And they know that. So they manipulate the market so they continue to buy it. And also, it's, not only a monetary metal, it's used for, industry. And so you never know what that can do to the price of silver. I don't think that it can stay down this long because they need so much of it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now, I think the better buy is silver over gold. I really hate to say that because I want to continue to buy more gold, but it just seems that's the way it's going right now. All right, I appreciate everybody for coming by. Please go down and hit that bell icon and give a big old thumbs up. That would really help out with the algorithm. Thank you, everybody. What are you stacking on right now? I'm stacking on some silver. Not a lot of it, but a little bit here and there. And anybody asks me what I want for Christmas, I tell them either money for more silver or silver itself. Just stack it up. Keep on stacking, because I can use this as a later date. I cannot use 2 pairs of shoes next year to bail myself out of a problem. I'll take 1 pair, a pair of boots, a couple pairs of shoes a year I go through, and a pair of boots. That's it. I don't need all that fancy stuff. I can't use it at a later date. I'd rather take the money that people give me for Christmas or anything and put it into metals. That way I can use it for hardship at a later date. So that's my thing. What are you guys gonna do? What do you guys like? You guys like to get silver and gold for Christmas, or are you guys into tennis shoes? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you everybody coming by. Remember to hit that bell icon so you get updated on my latest videos. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Savage Stacker's over now.